Hello, good day. I am Brian Palavier, Chief Distribution Officer of SERVIO Technologies, and I'll be presenting to you today a quick demo of SERVIO Virtual Classroom, our solution to help teachers like you manage your students and conduct classes in this new normal. SERVIO Virtual Classroom was built on Lark, a next-generation communication and collaboration platform. So once you sign in, this is what you are going to see. The leftmost panel is where you'll see the main functions of the application. So we have the messenger, which has intelligent messaging, the meetings or the video conference, the calendar, the docs, contacts, and the workplace. So let's start first with the messenger. Here in the messenger, we have a search button, search panel, wherein you can easily search for files, contacts, and groups. We also have a quick create for you to easily create groups and create docs. Here you can also pin your favorite groups, and here are all the groups that you are part of. So I created here a group for a particular section called Section 1. In this group, you would be able to see who the members of the group are. So we have Brian Javier, which is me, and I have currently 2 students, which is actually also me. So I have 2 phones here, one is student 1 and one is student 2. From a group, you can launch a video call and you can add members. In this section here is where you type your messages. So let's say hello, how are you? And you have a lot of emojis to choose from, which students love, and to make it more interactive. You can also tag specific students if you want the particular message to be directed at them. And you can also add videos, add images, add files. So this is one way of sharing your files to your class. In a message, you can also do a rack. So let's open my phone here. So you can do a react, and you would also know who among your students have read or have not read your message. So you would know if some students are zoning out. So let's say I read that message, so you would see now that student 2 has read the message and student 1 has not. You can also pin messages. So once you've pinned a message, for example, important assignments, important announcements, projects, you can pin those, and if you click here, you would see all the pin messages that you have. You can also reply. So once you reply and click that specific thread, you would see all the messages of that particular thread. So no need to worry about your messages getting lost in all the messages that your students would be typing in this particular group. So another way of launching a video call aside from the group is through these meetings. So you can start a new meeting, a meeting link, a meeting ID would be provided, and then you share that meeting ID to your students who you want to be part of that class, or just join a meeting if a meeting ID is given to you. So now we will go to the calendar. In the calendar, we would be able to help you set up all the classes of your student so that your students would have a bird's eye view of the schedule of all the subjects and all the classes that they have. Once this is set up, your students would also be notified if a class is about to start. From the calendar also, they could also join the class from the calendar. So through this, start a video meeting or join the video meeting. So you will see all the students who should be part of that particular class. So now we will go to the docs. The docs is also your cloud storage. Each tenant would have up to 200 gigabytes of free storage. You would have an option between MySpace or the shared space. MySpace are folders that only you can access. Shared space are folders that both you and your student can access. So now you can use this to share files. You can just simply copy a file and upload it into the shared space, and your student would be able to access that file already. Another way of sharing a file aside from the storage is by you just copying this link, going back to that section, to that particular group, and pasting that link, and now all the students of that particular class would be able to access that particular document. Here in this contacts, you would be able to see all the members of your class, of your organization. If you have 2 classes, then you can set up that all the students will be part of this particular section, and so it should be easy for you to manage your students. So now we will go to the video call, and let's say I want to start a video call from this group. So just click that, meet now. And here at the upper right are the different types of view. So we have the gallery view, we have the sidebar view, and we have the speaker view. What we usually use is the sidebar view, because to the sidebar view, here the sidebar are all the videos of your students, and here at the center are the videos that are unmuted. So usually that's the teacher. If a student unmutes his microphone, the video of that particular student would also pop up in the screen. So this is good. For example, if there's a recitation, both the teacher and the student would be highlighted in that central screen. In the lower left is the chat. So you can use this to chat. Students can use it to ask questions without disrupting your class. There are also emoticons, reactions. So we can use this, for example, if you want to ask your students, class, do you understand? If you understand, give me a thumbs up. So student 1 can give a thumbs up. Student 2 can also give a thumbs up. So imagine if you have a lot of students and you ask the whole class, give me a thumbs up if you understand, and all they can give a thumbs up. You can also give a heart. During class, if they find something they like, then they can also give you a heart. Here are the main options. So you can use the mute and unmute button and stop the video. These are the share screen. I'll go to that later. If you want to add participants and see who the participants are, you can view that as well. Here are the host controls. If you want to mute all, you can do that, or unmute all. You can also do that. So let's mute them. Here in this more, there are other options. So you can also record your classes, and this is good for students who may have missed the class because of internet connectivity. You can record the class and send them the recording afterwards. You can also live stream. If you have big events, you can live stream your class, because a video call could have up to 100 participants with no minute restrictions. So you can have unlimited minutes in your video call. You don't have to worry that your video call will get cut. 40 minutes. You can also choose different backgrounds and reduce the background noise. For sharing, we have different ways of sharing content. So either you share your whole desktop or share a specific file. So let's say I want to share a slideshow. So you can share a specific slideshow, and again, these are the different controls. You can annotate. Even your students could annotate. So let's say I want student 1 to annotate. Let me try that. So you can see here, student 1 is annotating it, and I can clear that if I want to. And you can also open the chat. So while you're discussing and sharing a screen, you can still see the students if they have any questions or if they have reactions. So I'll stop sharing this. Another way to share the document is through what we call the magic share. And this is one unique feature that this solution has. So let's say I want to share this particular lesson. So here in this magic share, students would be able to scroll through the document at their own pace if they want to. Why would they want that? For example, a student was not able to join in class because again of internet connectivity, and he or she was already able to join after a few minutes of discussions. So if that happens, a student could just be able to just scroll the beginning of the document, see if they missed anything, and then they can click to presenter so that they would know what part of the document the teacher is already in. Another good feature about Magic Share is you can copy YouTube links into this document and they can play the video from the document itself with no need to switch from this application going to a browser. One cool feature about Magic Share is the students can edit the document at the same time if you would allow them. So why would you do that? So for example, one good example is here. We have an icebreaker, and let's say they can all edit. So you would see student 1 is going to be editing. I'm student 1, and here I'll type I'm student 2, and you would know which student is editing the document. So this is good for group activities. You know, if you're in class, you have Blackboard activities and you have a particular question and you want to call in a student, so they can do that as well. So you have a question, call in a student, ask them to type in their question, and it still gives you that feeling that you're still in the classroom. One question that I always get is, how can we save on bandwidth? So if you go to more, settings, and operating mode, you switch it to Swift, you would see at the right panel all the videos of the students would be turned off. The only time that their video will be seen is if they unmute themselves. If they unmute themselves, you will be able to see the videos at the central screen, but again, the videos at the right panel would be turned off. So that's one way for us to be able to save on bandwidth. So going back to our group, you would know if a video call just ended. And let me go to the last thing that I would like to highlight is the workplace. So in the workplace, wherein we have built-in apps and integrations, which is unique to our SERVIO virtual classroom. So you would see here, we have integrations with Globe e-Library, the DepEd Learning Resource Center. They can sign up already through this application. The DepEd Commons, they'll be able to access the DepEd Commons, and they don't have to switch apps anymore. And we also have the in and out board, which helps you monitor the attendance of your students. So that's our SERVIO virtual classroom, and I just highlighted some features, and there are a lot more that you will be able to get from our solution. If you like what you see, or if you have any questions, feel free to contact any of our representatives. Thank you, God bless, and keep safe.